the Minister of Finance and coordinated, what do they call himself? Yeah, the Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, announced at an investor meeting during the ongoing IMF and World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C., that the federal government is set to raise the value added tax to 15%. I think we heard something like this last month, and people said, oh, how can that be? When, as at the time, people were still crying of the inflation that is ongoing. However, he emphasized that this increase would primarily target luxury goods, leaving essential items untouched to protect vulnerable populations. Mr. Edun confirmed that a bill currently before the National Assembly proposes a gradual increase in VAT for luxury items. What are the luxury items? Don't forget it. These luxury items that they are talking about, the so-called rich or the people that they think are so comfortable will be able to afford it. At the end of the day, it will still affect the masses, but they just have to put it in that way. These guys know nothing about making, the economy to be productive. All they know is tax, 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 and that is their life. They know nothing, and that is what brought about this agberu of a thing, that they have to launch that in a local way. You see, these are the same set of people that work with Tinubu, the same template they are using at the center. At the center, what have they done? Nothing. It's just to be taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing. Production that some people talked about, they are not interested in that. Mr. Edun confirmed that a bill currently before the National Assembly proposes a gradual increase in VAT for luxury items, while essential goods consumed by poorer Nigerians will either remain exempt from VAT or be subject to a zero rate. President Bola Tinubu's commitment is that while implementing difficult and wide-ranging but necessary reforms, the poorest and most vulnerable will be protected, Edun stated. He reassured citizens that the forthcoming legislation aims to ensure that the wealthiest contribute more, while essential goods for average citizens remain affordable. The minister indicated that a comparative list of essential items exempt from VAT will be published for public awareness in due course. Mr. Edun expressed optimism about Nigeria's oil sector, highlighting that improved security in oil-producing regions and new investments, particularly from Total and ExxonMobil, are expected to increase oil production and enhance foreign exchange inflows. Regarding fuel subsidy removal, Edun noted that while the reform was announced earlier, its full implementation began last month. He noted that the savings from this removal will start to impact the economy in the near future. Future that they are talking about, no be here, no be now. The future they are talking about, maybe it's going to be after they must have left office. This was not what they were saying since last year. It does not have dates. It does not have timeline when these all reforms of theirs will begin to have a positive impact in the lives of the people. No, there is no date. There is no time, be attached to it. But they are telling you in the near future. When you hear this kind of statement, you know that this is a statement of a 419. When asked about the potential for Nigeria to enter an IMF program, Mr. Edun revealed that the Tinubu administration proceeded with issuing domestic dollar bonds despite IMF advice against such a move. He retreated that Nigeria remains a member of the IMF and benefits from the institution's support, but emphasized the country's autonomy in making financial decisions. Now this Oyibo Isha, now they go continue to the talk. Now this Oyibo they go still they deceive the people. Nothing to gain from all of these things. It's just it's a ridiculous one. Okay. Like I said, it's going to affect the poorest of the poor and the poor. There's nothing like an average person in Nigeria, because the rich they say they are targeting will never be affected. Rather, they will continue to afford any amount of whatever they want to bring on. It's a good job. Oluwole presidency Hmm? Uluwole presidency and his cohorts, yes, now. Nigeria would outlive you all. I will tell you for sure that the price of things we see go higher in Nigeria until we remove tribalism and religion in our mind and look for what belongs to all of us. If not, we go nowhere. We remain stagnant. This government does not even have good things to say than increase. It is now very clear that the people we called Aboki in this country are now better and more educated and economic understanding than some section and Chicago certificate president that called himself Chicago graduates. This government is clueless. Even the Western governments they are trying to stimulate or emulate ease taxes on their citizens when the cost of living skyrockets. My question is ever since they have been taxing, in what form has the taxes generated over the years been beneficial and used to develop the country? We still have a long way to go as a nation. Go and learn good policy from Ghana. With due respect, if inflation is not controlled, it will erode every effort to recover the economy. I know it is not an easy task. As a leader, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Hey, yes, so that is how it ought to.